EHOME, they've got Oracle Clockwork, which is, I mean, certainly Clockwork going to be nice to have against these two supports. Oracle versus AA matchup can kind of go both ways. It depends on who is forced to use their spells first, really.
10 seconds.
And now Morphling getting banned out. Man, there's going to be actually a pretty narrow carry pool this game.
Man, Sparking Arrow are going for something super late. I mean, are they thinking of picking up a Spectre? Or are they thinking of picking up something like a Terrorblade, perhaps? Just leaving the one kind of late-ish game carry in their hand?
Do you think Sparking Arrow still needs to be worried about like a Huskar in this situation, or is having the AA enough of a deterrent? Because it's always going to be scary with the Oracle, right?
Yeah, I mean, they don't have any natural like vessel builders, but I think having the AA should be enough to discourage it, at least. You don't want to risk going out against one of the qualifier teams if you're EHOME 2-0, right? In your first series.
What's the plan for EHOME? Are they going to pick like Death Prophet here? Are they just going to go for Wraith King?
Okay. I don't mind it. Other than this puck, they don't have great wave clear, so you can put a lot of pressure on these side lanes with the Wraith King build. I just everything about this screams a hyper late game carry for me on Sparking Arrow's side.
Yeah, they've got tons of mobility and pretty good team fights. So they've got heroes that can hold the fort while they wait for that later game. And now just a Bristleback coming in. I guess if you've got Puck playing mid, you can't afford to have something a little bit more semi-carry-ish in your off lane. Bristleback's certainly nice for that. And they could even still go for some kind of run-at-you style this game if they wanted to. You know, something like your, I don't even know, safe lane dazzle, you know, some kind of crazy all-in thing could still be an option if they wanted to try for it.
I'm still calling the Spectre.
Okay.
I just think, like, with these four, you've got enough to create all of that space that you need, and they've banned out all of the things that will put pressure on them before Spectre's able to reach her critical mass.
I'm still liking the idea of the Death Prophet here for EHOME. Yeah, there you go. Easy peasy.
I mean, that's what you needed, right? You need something to speed up the tempo of the game, and yeah, granted, it is dependent on an ultimate, but you're pretty much guaranteed to get a tower if you take it in the right position and you use that exorcism and you don't get blown up straight away as a result of using it.
Yeah, and the Oracle is always going to be there to back you up. The silence is super useful against both the Puck and the Bristleback even, and of course Siphon always going to be useful against the Bristleback as well. So I think that's all good. We see Sparking Arrow banning out the Bat Rider, which is not a huge surprise. EHOME could still have plenty of options, really, in terms of what they want to go offlane-wise. Could even see, it might be a little bit greedy, but could even see something like a Legion Commander maybe coming out. Certainly a good answer to the Bristleback at various points of the game, but can be a bit of a dubious hero if your laning stage goes poorly. So.
Even like an Abaddon would be okay, I think.
Yeah, it'd be definitely.
I'll leave it open for Sparking Arrow as well as a... actually, I'd want to pick the Legion if I was them, because I think as well as Spectre, there's TB as a very real possibility.
Ooh, Tusk. Okay. This is like...
offlane Clock?
Yeah, maybe. This is very aggressive, though. Clock plus Tusk. I like the double save with the Death Prophet. This is going to give them... like pretty much no matter what, they're going to be getting big exorcism value. Lockdown might be the only issue that they run into a little bit, since it is just kind of a clockwork initiation, but there really should be no chance that the Death Prophet gets popped in fights. And Sparking Arrow, are you still thinking this like big kind of late game carry?
I'd say so.
Yeah.
They're thinking about it. Maybe it's just strategy talk, but I don't know. I really like how it's looking if they're able to pull it off. I mean, they showed that they had good teamfight coordination in the last match, and were able to abuse some of the item timings that EHOME were wanting to go for. Maybe just going a little bit greedy, thinking they could outskill Sparking Arrow for the short term, and then get those items to be able to win the game. And maybe they're going to take it a little bit more conservative this time around on EHOME's end.
Yeah. I'm trying to build off this anti-mage ban a little bit, because I think it is a somewhat sensible ban from the perspective of like EHOME don't have a ton of reliable lockdown, so they could just get ratted, but I don't know what other carry would really fill that role in this game.
I mean, Deuce is still really strong.
But not as like a split pushing thing, right? That's it's a totally different angle of attack. And,
Ooh, okay.
So this is not necessarily that same split pushing angle, but just doubling down a little bit more on the team fight. Can be good if they get the right initiation, but of course we did just talk about the saves from EHOME.
Man, that is a sick set on Faith Beyond. I don't think I've ever seen that before. It's like a pig clockwork.
Yeah, I don't like any of the non-default clockwork heads. Clockwork has so many sets, but so many of the like head items are just bad.
There's one called the Iron Clock Knight from the Korean Nexon League that I never got. I really wanted that. I even went to Korea back in 2015 thinking that I could get it, and I didn't. Oh, feels bad, man. But no, understandable wanting to take out a lot of these split push heroes that Sylar has really made his name from, especially the like, and that was just an instant first pick coming through from them. And
there's no way you're gonna let that through, especially against Sylar. So after last game and looking at the drafts, who are you favoring here, Danog?
Oh, I mean, Sparking Arrow, they look pretty impressive. The only thing, obviously, EHOME are a more established brand, as well as a team overall in the rankings, and they did actually beat Newbie, who did away with Ocean in pretty convincing fashion. So it might be one of these things where Sparking Arrow's style just doesn't quite succumb to the strengths that EHOME has.
Yeah. Well, they certainly looked good in the previous game. We'll see with this slightly different lineup that they've got here if it is going to work out in the same way. EHOME, what are they up to early on here? Looks like they are going to be rotating down towards bottom, maybe looking for some kind of a first blood. They do have boots over on this Jinkyu Tusk, and he is going to be rushing a vessel as fast as possible, it looks like. Certainly good to have with the Oracle, and always nice to have against both the Bristleback and the Faceless Void.
4 heroes here.
Yeah, so Sparking Arrow. Alright, Red Panda gonna get gone on a little bit here. Jinkyu. I think they could have first blooded if he was willing to like skill shards. Maybe they would have had the skill like stun on the Wraith King as well. Might not be worth it. Just gonna try and force them out here with a little bit of pressure. And Faith Beyond looks like he's still actually willing to contest up on this top side. It's only one hero from either team contesting for these top bounties, so
yeah,
could be 3 going EHOME's way here.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the 30 more movement speed than this Void, so he's happy to just run around, and if he's going to look to expand the Time Walk, he's going to punish him accordingly. So, yeah, nice play from Faith Beyond.
The battle begins.
Well, Jinkyu's realized what's going on over here. Comes in, scouts pretty deep. They've got a Observer Ward already up on this high ground as well. Keeping an eye on the rune. So very aggressive movements out of EHOME early on here.
They've even got an Observer Ward dropped inside the Dire base as well, just waiting for it to be ferried out.
Oh, interesting. Alright. I would guess that... I don't even know where that's on its way to. I guess we'll have to see.
Shaker did have 2 of them when he was placing this first one, so... Wonder what he's going to do now.
So it seems like Jinkyu might be thinking about doing sort of the same thing that he did in the previous game, putting a lot of pressure on mid. He did kind of drift over there for a second. Sparking Arrow choosing to block out that creep wave early on. Do put it in a pretty good position. There isn't too much room to chase here if you're EHOME, though the wave is starting to push back the opposite direction. Got to be careful with this Radiant Courier. Nice Fisher coming through. Good damage onto Sylar, and with all the quills, it's too much damage, and OP just brings him down. Oh, man.
Yeah. I mean, Innocence, he's able to get rid of that cold feet, but you can't dispel the Bristleback stacks from the Cool Spray, so... Yeah. Taking maximum... Oh, Innocence is a little bit deep.
Looking for the Fissure. He's dancing around the cold feet. He's getting blocked in pretty much completely, and OP can still hit him over the top of this Fissure. He will finally tango his way through, but this is a lot of damage that Sparking Arrow doing, and now just all three of them going to turn over towards Jinkyu. He tried to get in there with a few more tag team hits, but can't really do too much. So Sylar's still farming okay, but this is a ton of pressure. And sort of a situation where the Bristleback looking pretty good. Gets to turn his back here. Too much damage on Sylar. He just gets popped. Jinkyu still wants to try and finish this one off, and they will manage to do it with the flames coming out of Innocence, but we'll just end up being a 1-for-1 trade. Ooh, Red Panda was hoping to finish that kill on Jinkyu, but didn't quite have the move speed.
And you hate to see it. He bought the magic stick, just realizing that, okay, well, I can get a bit aggressive onto this Bristleback and I'll be fine, but when he's stuck facing backwards with all that damage coming out, it was just the automatic procs that did him in.
Yeah, and now Sylar having to walk all the way back to lane as well.
The walk of shame.
Yeah, looks like he's not going to miss out on too much. We'll have a quick check-in on the other lanes. Faith Beyond looking pretty good up top, but there are a lot of creeps here for the Void to grab. Mid lane 9 and 7 versus the 7 for 3, so certainly good matchup. Death Prophet looking good so far. And bottom lane, we'll just keep our eyes down here. Still plenty of kill threat going both ways.
Yeah, that's the kill side. I'm interested to see when it is that EHOME might choose to rotate up towards the top side, because you know, if they see, for example, the Void go something super aggressive in his inventory, then they'll just say, right, we know he doesn't have X, and now we can punt it.
Yeah, for sure. It's and even if they can get one hero up there and then kind of bait a time walk, all it'll take is one disable to look to get a kill. Jinkyu comes in here and puts some hits onto OP, but he's already got a bottle picked up, so he's going to be staying pretty healthy this entire time. And going to make contesting those 5-minute runes all the more important.
Yeah, the March of the Couriers happening along the bottom side, just constantly back and forth, ferrying sticks is the main objective for them.
Yeah, and we've already got a 20 wand on Sylar. There's plenty of spam happening. The one thing I will say is that Sparking Arrow are going to have to be a little bit worried about this clockwork, right? They can only keep this tri-lane going for so long, because eventually Faith Beyond is just going to hit 6 or 7, and he's going to come put an end to all 3 of them in like one gank.
Yeah, we can see here with DD's trying to bait out some item usage or some abilities from Nothing to Say, so that Shaker can come in and make an impact, but not falling for it. At least not.
I think they may have spotted the Shaker rotating past on one of these 2 wards. Like, they've pretty much got the entire line covered. DD does have an orb to get himself a little bit further away. He'll be fine. Jinkyu still chasing though, going to force him all the way back out of the lane. There's now a Fissure coming out, and Jinkyu still chasing him all the way back to the tower, though there is a salve to heal him back up.
He'll be fine.
Yeah.
He's going to want to be on point.
Doesn't have to go for the bounties. He's got himself an invis in his bottle, so he'll be a-okay. What's it gonna be? So Faith Beyond's also picked up a bottle. Looks like it is just gonna be
2 for 2.
No, it's 3 for 1.
Oh,
yeah. Ooh, DD jumping away at mid. Costs him pretty much all of his mana. This is not a very farm-heavy mid lane. As Faceless Void getting gone on up top, they will just snowball forward onto him after the time walk, dragging him back into the cogs. This looks like it could be a kill here. They do get the stun over onto the Tusk, and Faceless Void does just manage to slink out of there. Tanky enough with his Wraith Band to stay alive, and Tusk just gonna have to immediately switch over to bottom lane. We'll look for another opportunity here. Very able to just be super mobile on the map. There is going to be a Fissure splitting this up, but nice snowball dodging things out completely, and EHOME will easily grab that kill.
Yeah, DD doing a good job to survive for as long as he can, and right now it feels like the name of the game is just get that experience, get those ability levels up so that you can push out these waves, while the Death Prophet's trying to take a couple of these towers. I feel like he's resigned to the fact that this tower is going to die sooner.
And he can kind of just end up being the offlaner of this game, right? They've got a Bristle, they've got a Void. He doesn't need to be a huge damage source. He just needs to get his levels and provide that split push like you've been saying. It's really his job this game.
Yeah, I'd say he's more of a tempo controller than any sort of, you know, carry. He's not going to be the one that ends the game. He's going to be the one that decides when the game ends.
What's the build for Void this game, you think?
I think he can afford to go somewhat greedy, based on, you know,
Like
what the
Battle
rest of his
Fury
team's
greedy,
composition is.
or how greedy is
I'm not a
greedy?
huge fan of going Battle Fury if they don't have illusion heroes.
Okay.
So it has been buffed somewhat in recent times, but still, it's just not the item. What do they need? They need something to be able to catch, I suppose.
I could see like the diffusal build, maybe.
Yeah.
Just some value mana burn and stuff. TP bottom from the Clockwork coming in. Faith Beyond looking to use this hook. Might not even need to. OP a little bit out on an island and will be brought down quickly. I don't even know how much they needed from Faith Beyond to grab that kill. But nice little rotation all the same.
Yeah, mid lane 2, they tried to go on to Nothing to Say with the Dream Coil being used, but you know, with Bristleback dying on the bot side and them not picking up that kill, it's a big win for you.
Faith Beyond still having the hook shot, going to be looking for an opportunity here. They force out the orb. Faith Beyond thinking about the hook. Nothing to Say tanking probably too many tower shots here. Innocence TPing in to try and keep him alive. He's starting to get the drain going. Nothing to Stay, still living, still draining. OP, is it going to be enough? It's a 1-for-1 so far. Faith Beyond trying to make his retreat. Innocence also on the run. OP, the Quill Spray, not quite able to catch him, and Faith Beyond able to salve up nicely in the river. So it does just end up being a 1-for-1. Not the best for EHOME, but a big response out of Sparking Arrows. They bring a bunch of heroes mid.
Yeah, realizing that they can't let this DP get out of control. Still, no points in the exorcism just yet. Just looking to bully the puck for as long as he can. I think what you were talking about before, the Diffusal Blade, that actually is a really good item to have now that the exorcism has the passive 20% movement speed bonus as well. You really want to make sure that you're controlling the speed of how these EHOME cores are moving around in these team fights.
We'll just have to wait and see. There is another Gloves of Haste queued up for the Void. Okay, yeah, so it is going to be straight into the Diffusal Blade after that, looks like. Tons of rotations on the map. Again, not a huge farm game necessarily. And OP once again getting caught out at bottom. Faith Beyond looking to finish off this kill. There is going to be a Fissure. OP finds an opportunity to heal up a little bit. Faith Beyond thought about the hook shot, but didn't have any damage left in the tank after that point. So just gonna call it quits for now. Though Battery Assault is back off cooldown. No vision to really work with. And instead looks like they might just smoke towards mid, and the line has already been drawn to maybe fight for this 10-minute bounty up on the hill. Ooh,
There's the
pop. Oh, actually the orb is on cooldown. They saw it getting thrown over towards mid. So quickly they just punish. Felix is going to try and close off the high ground, but it's a bit too early. It looks like they are still going to steal that bounty away from him. Really unfortunate timing for the puck.
Yeah, but nice plays coming through from EHOME to be able to punish it. Another scrim happening down here on bot side.
Yeah, OP trying to fight, but he's just not tanky enough yet on the Bristleback. Really needs this Vanguard. Good Quill Spray damage, but not quite enough. Mid lane getting super pressured. Nothing to Say. Even finding himself a little Arcane Rune. DD is trying for the deny. Is it going to be in time?
Oh,
no, he actually just sets up Nothing to Say instead. And now Puck with no orb for 1 second does manage to phase shift. Almost jumps away, but it's just too much damage as Innocence brings him down. That's a double kill for your Oracle of all heroes. But EHOME bringing things back here.
Well, there's the early rotations doing work, and that first exorcism, you absolutely need to make sure you're getting a tower from it. He does, so nice work there from EHOME, and they're going to continue to try and ramp up the pressure.
This is getting scary for Sparking Arrow. Your Shaker's not going to be doing much for a little while. Your mid lane and your side lane both in a little bit of danger. Faith Beyond is just running at Felix, so there's absolutely nowhere for the Shaker to go. Void is trying to even TP in here. Has this Chronosphere that he really wants to use, but the jump forward not going to end up meaning anything. And it's just a bit of a wasted rotation for the Void. He's overlapping farm with the puck. Man, he really wants to use this Chrono, hey.
He does, and I really like that aggression coming from Faith Beyond. Instantly, oh, he's going to be chasing Innocence, and
yeah, he's chasing Innocence, but in the back lines. Faith Beyond just finding a quick kill. Now the Chronosphere coming out, OP lumbering into position. They will get the Oracle kill, but Faith Beyond, I think, is a little bit beyond their reach. And Sylar's just got an army of skeletons up top. He's going to be pushing this tier 1 tower, shoveling all the while.
Pretty handy with the Void. You might think that using the Chronosphere to secure a kill on Pos 5, not really worth it, but with the change to the kill streaks, nearly netting him 500 gold just from that 4 times.
Actually, yeah, Innocence has done a fair amount of kill securing. Very high participation in this game. Actually, he has, he's got the, like, impossible scoreline.
More kills than there has been.
Yeah, they only have 9 recorded kills, but he's been in 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good stuff, good stuff. Game's still in beta.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
I wonder if he's going to pass off this poor man's shield onto the Void, considering, you know, Agi hero and all that. Or just the fact that he's probably going to be staying on his own, this Void, and it's going to be up to the Bristle to tank up as much damage as he can.
Man, OP had decent start, but this Vanguard has just been taking such a long time to get. I wonder if it was even worth it going for the aggro lane. Sylar getting coiled up top is going to snap that. Lots of chain stun. I don't know if there's too much help forthcoming. Pops his phase boots to try and get a little bit further away. Faith Beyond going to put his life on the line. Traps the 2 supports inside of the cogs. Might actually be able to bring down both of them. Continues the chase. However, Void and the Puck will continue chasing down Sylar. They bring him down. Faith Beyond looking for the follow-up kill onto Felix, but he makes his way up onto the high ground. However, Jinkyu is there waiting for him. Void forced to jump down into the river, but there's a snowball to chase, and an Ice Shard catching him beautifully. He does have the time walk to get a little bit further away, but Faith Beyond still chasing. There's the root. The battery assault coming off cooldown. Another time walk now, but Faith Beyond already in position to keep the damage going. Here comes the cogs. 2 seconds on the time walk. Red Panda going to do what he can to protect. And finally, that time walk gets him out of there.
Yeah, just 20 seconds left on the Dream Coil, so Puck, he was kind of keen to want to go in and make an impact there, or since he's going to figure out all of these creep camps that are happening.
Oh, and everything's on cooldown for the Puck, actually. Needs some spells, taking perhaps too much damage, and Jinkyu brings him down. And he's going to lose all those creeps that he just softened up. Oh, no. I love that Innocence is actually going to take all of these.
Yeah, 4th core, why not?
Yeah. I think they, I don't know, I think they could have given it to Jinkyu. I think this Vessel is pretty value, but why not? Innocence getting in the fun. And EHOME still just kind of comfortably building up this lead. Win probability already around the 80% mark, and just the opportunity to make plays for Sparking Arrow really somewhat lacking. Void even feeling pressured into going for a Manta in this situation, just to deal with the root, to deal with the silence. Really not looking like as good of a last pick as maybe they were hoping for.
The haste rune.
He's going to try for the defensive chrono here, but there's so much chain stun. They're pushing him around everywhere, back into the silence. Great plays there from Faith Beyond and Jinkyu, chaining everything perfectly. Oh, that hurts so much.
You can see what Void was trying to do, you know, not making the same mistake as EHOME last time. With holding on to too much net worth, he's realizing that, look, we need to make sure that we're able to pressure back what EHOME's trying to do, at least for the time being, but yeah, he's still been caught out a few times, despite having all of these completed items.
Yeah, and so Sparking Arrow does seem like they're just trying to shift into a more defensive, more split push oriented game, maybe delay it out into the later stages where their Void can be big and scary, but EHOME just taking this window of opportunity to march down lanes, take a tier 2 with their level 2 exorcism. Nothing to say, having no problems whatsoever.
Yeah, and we really haven't been seeing Sylar in these team fights either. He's finished up the amount of gold that he needs for the relic. He's got an Imp Claw that's just been delivered to him as well, so there's going to be a ton of extra damage that Sparking Arrow might not have budgeted.
It's a difficult situation. Bristle's almost, well, he's got his Crimson Guard, but we will see if that is going to be enough damage mitigation for them here. And it's only helpful against some of what EHOME are bringing to the table. They do have a lot of magical damage as well. Faith Beyond with an Arcane Rune here, just locking in the Bristle once again. And the rest of EHOME ready to help out. Sylar with the Chain Stun, and, well, not even one more crit. Jin-Q finishing it off with the tag team damage, it seems.
There's that relic. Just, you know, just a casual 700 crit.
Yep. Good stuff, good stuff. Death Prophet actually just manning up here at top as Faith Beyond has already made the rotation. Chronosphere coming out, but not nearly enough damage. Death Prophet's going to be just fine. Also has a defensive Yules if required. Faith Beyond's in the backlines going 3v1 as after capturing the outpost, creates the opportunity for his team to get in here. Hookshot's coming back off cooldown in a second. Faith Beyond's going to go hunting. He spots Felix. He jams the hook. One more set of cogs, one more set of battery assault, and one more kill for this Clockwork here. And he's not done. Faceless Void also going to be forced to time walk back defensively. Your position 3 clock absolutely taking over this game, 8-0 and 6.
Yeah, big differential from last game where we saw ultimates coming out here, there, and everywhere from these supports on Sparking Arrow. I don't think we've seen an Echo Slam happen just yet in 17.5 minutes.
And his game is just... He's having a miserable time. He's even bought a Staff of Wizardry just to try and get a Force Staff. Not even going to try for a Blink Dagger. And EHOME easily into the pit. Going to pop the Exorcism to secure it. I guess they just give it to Death Prophet? Or I guess Wraith King could take it. Seems a little bit strange to me. Okay. Good old 3 lives Wraith King.
With Radiance, it's not too bad, right? At 18 minutes. What can you really do? Yeah,
he's just going to stand there. What do they got on Sparking Arrow? Are there any items that are close? Puck has bought Boots of Travel. Does not feel nearly as good as it once did, but still going to be nice if your plan is just to try and rat lanes and apply pressure. Though I think EHOME are going to be taking the fight to them pretty shortly. They've even got this pipe on the Clockwork.
Speaking of rat, you know, Radiance and picking up an Illusion Rune is hugely handy for this Wraith King. It means that you can essentially just forget about one lane for the time being.
Yeah, just let the Illusions push that out. Innocent's still going to come in here and swipe a couple more creeps. He wants his Blink Dagger. Void, well, Chrono's on cooldown for 30. I think he's just waiting for the wave, but he's going to have to wait a little longer. Sparking Arrow do get a couple of D-wards out around the place, but EHOME still very much firmly in control. And nothing to say, even just going to queue up a Hex at this point. That is confidence. Oh, Felix. Run, my friend. Alright, I think he's pretty dead. Yep. Faith Beyond finds his angle. Comes in with the battery assault, and that will be a quick kill. All Red Panda can do is throw one little chilly fingers at him.
Yeah, and look at this. They can just continue the pressure up on this top side. They've left Sylar down bottom. I think he just summoned skeletons. They'd gone back to the neutral camp instead of pushing the lane.
Even if Sylar got caught here and his team were all the way on the other side of the map, with 3 lives, they are guaranteed to get there in time. So there's actually kind of nowhere on the map that is out of position for Sylar in this situation.
Yeah, they've spotted out DD2 as he walked past that outpost, so EHOME as well are going to secure up all of the experience from that. He's just trying to sit here on these backlines and try and counter the push as much as he can, but sitting in a trees isn't doing all.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's gonna have to wait for the next wave as well. Now they've let this one slip them by. So, EHOME, they've got the Exorcism ready. OP is sitting here like he's strong, but I do actually think that EHOME can bring him down. There's the Yules. They've got a Silence coming up as well. Maybe the Shaker can help him out a little bit, but this is already quite a lot of damage. Echo Slam getting dropped on the Death Prophet's head. This might be too much damage. They throw down everything, but the save is there from Innocent, so now the Exorcism is still just going to do its work. There's a lot of healing coming through from the Death Prophet. She might actually survive. No, it's not quite enough, but Jin-Q able to go in. OP is low. Snowball over the top of everything. Faith Beyond is godlike. Faceless Void jumping forward aggressively, but it's straight into a Vessel. It's straight into a stun, and it's straight into his death. Red Panda is the last one alive, and he's just trying to slink away, but Jin-Q hot on his trail. Faith Beyond also closing the gap, and that is going to be a full team wipe with some big fish punch damage from Jin-Q.
And the dieback as well, and Sylar throughout that all still holding onto this Aegis here. Nearly got 2 minutes left on it. He should be able to just sit in lane, push out these towers, but no, he's just going to happily go towards the Ancients and do his thing. But yeah, finally the Echo Slam comes out. It means that they get some sort of exchange coming through from that team fight, but it was a 6-for-2 trade, so still looking far more in favor of EHOME.
It just hurts so much that they like dumped 3 ultis on the Death Prophet, and then all of a sudden False Promise came out, and they still had to... At that point, you could see that they weren't even confident either. They knew that they had to keep putting damage on the Death Prophet, otherwise she was just going to heal up after the False Promise ended. So really just wasted so much of their time, that fight.
They got the AA ulti onto her though, so that does, I believe, stop some of it that you take during the Ice Blast?
It's only it's only if the Ice Blast is still on when the False Promise ends. So it's like kind of an all or nothing. If the False Promise duration is longer, then you get all of the healing. It doesn't...
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, you need to have the debuff at the end of it. I think it was, though, because they used the False Promise pretty much immediately after the Ice Blast connected. And now with the increased duration of it,
True.
It was just a little bit more effective.
True, yeah. So it's 8 seconds versus 10 seconds, yeah. Regardless, very big fight win for EHOME. They're now 13k ahead. 96% win probability. Oh, Puck just trying to get a little bit more wave push happening mid, and EHOME converge out of nowhere, make mincemeat out of him. Beyond godlike for this Faith Beyond Clockwork.
Yeah, I'd say he's been the MVP so far in this game. Only 2 kills that he hasn't been a part of. So, just realizing his timings, right? He got the pipe, he started to be aggressive, he got phase boots, just phase boots, and he was like, right, I'm gonna hook underneath the tier 2 tower and kill one of the support.
Why has he been able to have such a good game here?
I mean, what can you do if you're an Earthshaker that doesn't have farm, or just against the Clockwork in general? And an AA itself, sure, you can put a cold feet on him, but you know, he just keeps running you down. You don't want to stand still and just continue to take battery assault shot.
And I guess we've seen exactly that this game, right? He's just TP'd from lane to lane, being everywhere. Jinkyu also kind of just making the same plays. It's 10-0 and 12 and 6-0 and 11 between these two big ganking heroes that they've grabbed. They've really just been controlling everything, and everyone else has just been able to farm, especially Sylar, now picking up his AC. He is having an absolutely amazing game. And I don't know what Sparking Arrow can do about it at this point. There's no items flowing in for them at all. I keep clicking on these inventories, and there's really just no progression. They do at least have a 4-staff now on Felix, but feels a little bit like too little too late.
I think in the last 7 minutes, it was just a Blade of Alacrity being picked up by this Void.
Alright, DD's gonna survive, but only just. And that was almost Tusk solo killing him at this point. In fairness, they are within 300 gold of each other on the net worth.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know what Sparking Arrow can do here. Even like a big Echo Slam, it's only level 1 Echo. Felix is level 9. So, just a very feels bad situation in this kind of a game as the Shaker.
They're getting these little power spikes, you know, going level 15 on the Bristleback, gets him that little bit of extra health. Nearly going to hit level 10, there we go, on to the Earthshaker, AA, nearly hitting level 10 as well, so that spell amp is going to likely come into play as well. Little things, but you think at this stage, EHOME are just continuing to accelerate their advantage. You know, with more net worth, you can farm faster.
Yeah, should just be able to kind of lock in the cruise control from here. Bristleback trying to grab a little bit of farm on mid, but there is so much chance done. Felix is running forward, hopes for the Fisher, but it's already too late. OP's dead. Faith Beyond just adding another one to the tally.
So Faith Beyond has finished up a Heart of Tarask at 26 minutes.
Nice. 3,500 HP on Clockwork.
Just clock things.
Yep, good stuff. Took the 15 HP, 15 strength talent as well. And
he's just a beefy boy.
He's just gonna walk up onto the high ground. What does he care? Even without the heart regen, he's got 50 HP a second, back lines, Puck was just trying to cut the wave, but immediately got hexed down. That's the hex reveal on the Death Prophet, and EHOME easily make their way up onto the high ground and just start chopping away.
Yeah, I would say they're about within a hair fiber of just calling it. Like, if I was that Puck, that would have been tilting for me. It's just like, what can you do at this point?
Yeah, Void is trying to finish up his defusal. I guess maybe he's hoping that if he gets his Manta defusal, maybe he can jump in and make some kind of a fight happen with a good chrono, but already BKB coming out up for this Wraith King, and everyone is so tanky now. Hook shot in. They do force staff the Clockwork out of there. Red Panda's going to be okay. It's to be careful of the next rocket flare. Innocence jumps in looking for it.
So
Can we get a Chronosphere out? There's too much chain stun. He can't get the Manta off. He can't get the Time Walk off. He can't get the Chrono off. And he's dead now. No buyback available. Didn't even get to the Diffusal Blade. Faith Beyond holding everybody back as the Exorcism does its work.
He's doing everything he could, pushing that that bottom lane into the tower as much as he can. Oh, dodging even the damage coming through from the Puck with the snowball, and yeah, that's an instant GG call.
And all right, with that, EHOME gonna reverse the momentum a little bit here, take in the second game. Looked very convincing. Very nice plays out of the Faith Beyond Clockwork. I think that could even be something that I don't know if there would be any consideration of banning it. I do think, like you said, a lot of it comes down to he just had, even though it was such an early pick, he ended up with such good matchups this game, and it just feels like the Puck and the Bristleback just kind of completely fell flat on their faces this game in the face of all the ganking.
Yeah, so it's 1-1, the first third game rather of the CDA. So I'm sure there'll be plenty more, but this time around it's going to go to that nail biter of a game 3 to decide.
All right, guys. So with that, we're gonna head to a quick break. Hope you stick around, and we'll see you back here for game 3 in just a couple of minutes.